First of all, he speaks about intellect. Intellect, this power of intellect has pleasures and it has certain pains, meaning your soul will be in pleasure, will be enjoying itself if it has certain things, and it will be in pain if it doesn't. So what are the pleasures and the pains of the intellect? He mentions the pleasure of the intellect, of the aql. This is when when your intellect is happy, we could say. It's complete. It's when you have knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more your intellect is complete. Because remember, your aql also needs knowledge, needs information many times to make the right decisions. So the more knowledge you have and information, the more you'll be able to make wise and good decisions. And the pain of aql is arrogance. When the nafs is left arrogant, you don't know anything. This is, you're torturing your nafs, but your intellectual nafs, as we can say. So this is regarding the power of intellect. The power of desire, you want the power of desire to be happy, to be in a state of bliss, then obviously give it materialistic pleasures, all the materialistic pleasures that the body, of course, has. Then this will make the power of desire very happy. Or, it's pleasure for it. It's fulfilling for it. All the materialistic desires. Versus the pain of the desire, of the power of desire, is when you deny it. When it's suffering pain, when it's suffering through, hunger, for example, deprive it of comfort and all the other good desires, then that will be the pain of the power of desire. The power of anger, the pleasure is overpowering an enemy. For example, when you're angry and someone has oppressed you or an enemy has come to kill you and fight you, when you overpower that enemy, that fulfilling feeling that you've overpowered your enemy, this is the pleasure of the power of anger. Versus being overpowered by your enemy or whoever's stronger than you, that this is its pain. And finally, the power of imagination. The power of imagination, al-quwa al-wahmiya, is when you successfully imagine something and it leads to a good result, versus when you keep on failing. Anything you imagine, anything you try to do, you fail. Now that's one thing the author mentions, but something else I can add, pain and pleasure of the power of imagination, is what we mentioned and alluded to. If I use the power of imagination for positive results, then that's pleasure for it. But if I use it like Muawiyah did, by using deceit and cunning for immoral purposes, then this is pain for the power of imagination, because I'm using it for negative results. So these are the 4 pleasures and pains of the powers of the soul. And then the author says that the pleasures of the power of the intellect, which is knowledge, which is faith, religion. Remember, we said that that you use the power of intellect to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if I have faith and knowledge, he says this is the only honorable and worthy pleasure. This is a pleasure that makes you more worthy. The more you have it, even though you're enjoying it, but you're also becoming more complete, more perfect. And it's making your nafs more worthy. So we can only say that regarding the first intellect. The other ones, not really. I imagine you try to say that about the power of desire. The more desires you indulge in, then the more worthy you become. No, in fact, it's the opposite. Imagine someone that all they care about is the materialistic desires. That just makes them like an animal. Nobody boasts about that. But people boast about their knowledge, about their faith. They could tell that this is something good, something decent, something honorable. And he says that the pleasures of the intellect, they they outweigh any other pleasure. So the most fulfilling and powerful pleasure is the pleasures of the intellect. That's why they say, one of the scholars, when he used to sit and think and just research and use his knowledge, try to gain more knowledge, when he used to finally reach a conclusion, he would find the solution to a very difficult equation or a very difficult aspect of any field, any science. He used to feel so fulfilled this is one of our scholars, that he used to look at the sky and he used to say, where are the kings from this beautiful pleasure? Yes, maybe the kings are indulged in food and sexual desires and power, the desire of power and all the other materialistic desires. But what I have witnessed right now and felt, and this fulfilling feeling of, of having knowledge, of finding a breakthrough, a, a scholarly breakthrough, then this exceeds and surpasses the pleasure of any other thing, any other power of the soul.